Submarines were built for stealth, power, and survival, vanishing beneath the waves long before enemies knew they were coming. From the revolutionary German U-boats of World War II to experimental underwater giants like HMS M2, these vessels vanished and left behind legacies deep in the ocean's grasp. But what makes these submarines more than metal? What secrets sleep within their rusted hulls? Join us as we dive into the 20 most stunning sunken submarines in the world, each with a story as haunting as the sea itself. 20. U-215. A shipwreck lies hidden off Canada's coast, and for over 60 years, no one even knew it was there. But here's the twist. Divers weren't even searching for a sub when they stumbled upon U-215, resting beside the SS Alexander Macomb. This German U-boat had laid mines in 1942 before being sunk by HMS Le Tiger. The torpedo tubes? Still sealed like it was caught mid-mission. Found in 2004 at 270 feet deep, it remains one of the rarest U-boats ever discovered in North American waters. One diver called it a predator frozen mid-hunt. 19. HMS Truculent. This British sub met its fate during peacetime, but the tragedy? As haunting as any wartime loss. In 1950, HMS Truculent collided with an oil tanker during a night exercise. Many crew members escaped the sinking sub, only to be dragged under by the freezing, fast-rising tide. Divers today describe the wreck as unnervingly still, like time froze the moment it went down. It was later raised, but no one dared sail her again. She was scrapped within the year, one of the eeriest graveyards in the UK. And we're just getting started. The next sub, practically invisible to sonar. 18. U-480. Imagine a submarine so advanced that enemy sonar couldn't detect it. Sounds unreal, right? But U-480 made it terrifyingly real. Nicknamed the Black Panther, it was coated in synthetic rubber to absorb sonar waves, making it practically invisible underwater. In 1945, it struck a mine and vanished. For decades, its stealth features were dismissed as rumor, until divers confirmed the wreck in 1998. Rubber tiles still intact. Historians believe if more had been built, the Atlantic War could have turned dramatically. U-480 stands as the first stealth submarine ever used in combat, and it worked. 17. USS R-12. A submarine vanished in seconds. No enemy fire, no distress call, just gone. In 1943, USS R-12 was on a routine training mission near Key West when it suddenly sank, taking 40 crew members with it. For 67 years, its fate remained unknown until researchers discovered the wreck 600 feet below the surface in 2010. The cause? Still unsolved. The sub lies eerily intact with a clean break that's fueled theories of sudden catastrophic failure. And if you think that's rare, wait until we reach the sub that sank during a test flight with its aircraft hangar doors wide open. 16. U-77. It sank in shallow, sunlit waters, but what lies beneath is anything but peaceful. Some divers say the wreck still feels alive. U-77 was attacked by Allied aircraft in 1943 near Spain. The crew abandoned ship, and the U-boat sank soon after. Now resting at just 150 feet deep, the wreck is remarkably intact. Its conning tower stands tall, and personal items like helmets and radios remain inside. Underwater photographers call it a time capsule with teeth. But here's the kicker. Its deck gun is still in place, aimed into the blue as if waiting. Some divers report finding shell casings still lying in the sand, untouched since the day of the battle. 15. HMS Perseus. Only one man survived this sub sinking, and he did it without oxygen. In 1941, HMS Perseus hit an Italian mine and sank 170 feet beneath the Ionian Sea. John Capes, a stoker, escaped through the torpedo hatch and swam to shore after hours in open water. His tale was dismissed for years until divers found the wreck with the hatch blown open, exactly as he said. Today, visitors leave tribute coins at that very spot. Capes later received the British Empire Medal, and if one man swam 170 feet to live, wait till we uncover a sub no one knew existed. 14. U-869. This submarine was officially declared sunk off Africa, but decades later it was discovered off the coast of New Jersey. Wait, how does a German U-boat end up on the wrong side of the world? U-869 vanished in 1945. It wasn't until two recreational divers, John Chatterton and Richie Kohler, found the wreck in the 90s that the mystery exploded. Their quest became the best-selling book, Shadow Divers, and the sub remains one of the most debated wrecks ever found. Inside, torpedoes remain sealed, and crew belongings still lie untouched. Some believe U-869 may have accidentally sunk itself while reloading a torpedo. 13. HMS Afray. HMS Afray didn't sink in battle. It disappeared during a routine training mission in 1951 without a single distress call. 75 lives were lost and weeks passed before the wreck was finally discovered, lying perfectly intact on the seabed. The cause? Still debated. Some blame a snorkel failure, others whisper sabotage. What's undisputed is this: Afray remains the last Royal Navy sub lost at sea. Divers report sonar glitches near the site, almost like the sub doesn't want to be found. And if that chills you, wait until we reach the one that could outswim destroyers. Yes, really. 12. U-2511. This sub could have changed the outcome of World War II, but never fired a shot. U-2511 was Germany's most advanced submarine, faster, stealthier, and capable of remaining submerged for days. Part of the revolutionary Type 21 class, it could run submerged at 17 knots, faster than most destroyers on the surface. It received orders to attack Allied ships, but before it could strike, Germany surrendered. The captain aborted the mission and later scuttled the sub to avoid capture. Today it rests in deep, icy waters, forgotten but legendary. The Type 21 class inspired modern post-war submarine designs in both NATO and Soviet fleets. 11. USS Grunion. In 1942, USS Grunion vanished without a trace during a patrol near Alaska. For decades, its fate remained a painful mystery, until the crew's own sons funded a private search. In 2007, they found it, broken in two on a volcanic slope beneath the Bering Sea. The wreck showed signs of violent internal damage, sparking debate: enemy attack, malfunction, or something else? No clear answers. But the story of Grunion is remembered not just for how it sank, but for the family that refused to forget. And if they found closure, wait until you see the sub that was captured fully intact. 10. U-505. This submarine was captured mid-war, fully intact. That almost never happens. In 1944, U.S. forces risked their lives on board U-505 before it could be scuttled. Inside, they uncovered code books, an Enigma machine, and vital intelligence that helped crack German communications. Instead of sinking it, the Navy secretly towed it across the Atlantic. Today, U-505 is the showpiece at Chicago's Museum of Science and Industry. Walking through it is like stepping into history itself. But if this sub was preserved, the next one sank with over 90 aboard and remained hidden for nearly 70 years. U-505 is the only U-boat on display in the Western Hemisphere. 9. HMS Olympus. In 1942, HMS Olympus struck a mine and sank just off Malta's coast. Most of the crew had just survived other submarine sinkings, only to lose their lives again. Only 9 men made it back to shore after swimming over 7 miles through oil-covered water. For decades, Olympus remained lost, until it was discovered upright and intact in 2011, nearly 400 feet deep. It now stands as a war grave, and divers approach with quiet reverence. The wreck's position confirms survivor accounts, matching their description of the escape swim perfectly 70 years later. 8. U-534. Found off the coast of Denmark in 1986, this U-boat was raised nearly intact, but no one knows why it was even out there. It was sunk in May 1945 after Germany had surrendered. Inside were Enigma machines, encrypted documents, and bizarrely preserved crew uniforms. Some speculate it was part of a secret escape mission. Nazi gold? Fleeing officers? No proof, but plenty of rumors. Today it's displayed in massive sections at the Woodside Ferry Terminal in the UK. And if you think pulling a U-boat from the sea is hard, imagine raising a sub by hand in 1925. U-534 is the only surviving example of a type IXC-40 U-boat in the world. 7. USS S-51. This was one of the earliest submarine disasters in U.S. history. In 1925, the S-51 collided with a steamship and sank in just 4 minutes. The Navy had never recovered a sunken sub before, so they had to invent the method as they went. Divers worked in total darkness, using primitive suits and hand tools, risking their lives to bring it up. It became a national story and a turning point for underwater recovery. The S-51's bell, recovered during the salvage, is still rung during naval memorials today. 6. U-1105 Black Panther. Yes, there's a German U-boat lying at the bottom of the Potomac River. Seriously. Nicknamed Black Panther, U-1105 was built for stealth, coated in sonar-absorbing rubber to avoid detection. After Germany surrendered in 1945, the U.S. used it for explosive tests, then quietly sank it in the river. Today, it's an official underwater heritage site, one of the weirdest places to find a Nazi submarine. Divers say it feels more like a sci-fi movie set than a World War II relic. And the next sub? It never even made it to war. It sank during its first test run. U-1105 is one of the earliest examples of sonar camouflage, paving the way for modern stealth subs. 5. HMS Thetis. This one haunts the Royal Navy to this day. HMS Thetis sank during sea trials in 1939, before it was ever commissioned. A torpedo tube valve was left partially open, causing flooding that doomed the sub. 99 people drowned. Many were civilians and engineers. Worse yet, Thetis was eventually raised, renamed, and put into service, only to sink again during the war. Some of the original victims were found with notes in their pockets, goodbye messages written as they waited for rescue that never came. 4. U-853. U-853 attacked a U.S. ship after Germany had officially surrendered, sparking one of World War II's final naval battles. On May 5, 1945, it torpedoed the SS Black Point, killing 12. The U.S. Navy responded with overwhelming force, sinking the U-boat just hours later. Its wreck now lies mostly intact near Block Island, with torpedoes still in their tubes. Some divers call it the Ghost Sub, and it's treated like a war memorial. And if that sub went down after the war ended, the next one met its fate in full view of the American coast. U-853 is one of the only U-boats lying in U.S. waters with its crew still entombed inside. 3. U-85. This U-boat tried to sneak past the East Coast and paid the price in a full-blown firefight. In April 1942, U-85 surfaced during an attack and was engaged by the USS Roper. The battle was so intense that the Roper continued firing even after the sub began to sink. Today, U-85 lies in just 100 feet of water, making it one of the most accessible and photographed submarine wrecks in the world. Divers still report finding helmets, boots, and personal effects inside the wreck. U-85 was the first U-boat sunk by the U.S. Navy off the American coast during World War II. 2. HMS M2. A submarine with a hangar and a seaplane inside? Yep, this was real. HMS M2 was the world's first submersible aircraft carrier. Wild, right? In 1932, during a routine dive, M2 sank while preparing to launch its onboard plane. The hangar doors were open when it went down, and that single design flaw sealed its fate. Today, the wreck lies in 100 feet of water, plane and all, hauntingly preserved. Divers often say it looks like something out of a steampunk sci-fi film. HMS M2 remains the only sub in history confirmed to have gone down while preparing to launch an aircraft. 1. U-352. The most iconic U-boat dive in America and possibly the world. U-352 was sunk in 1942 by the U.S. Coast Guard cutter Icarus after trying to attack U.S. shipping lanes. It now rests upright in crystal clear water off North Carolina's coast, making it a diver's dream. The wreck is covered in marine life, but its silhouette remains hauntingly sharp. Periscopes, torpedo hatches, and control stations, all frozen in time. In addition to being beautiful, it is cinematic. Some divers say it's the closest they've ever felt to time travel. U-352 was the first German sub sunk by the U.S. Coast Guard, and its captain was captured and imprisoned in the U.S. If these sunken submarines gave you the chills, just imagine what else is hidden beneath the waves. Each wreck tells a story of courage, mystery, and time frozen in steel. So, hit like, subscribe, and ring the bell for more deep-sea legends. And let us know, which submarine would you explore first, and why?